Hi YouTube, it's me, Bryn Chan, and don't mind the tongue. I just ate a popsicle. Very professional of me, I know. I ate a popsicle right before I hopped on here. Um, though we are going to do some reflection. It is Wednesday. I know I have been neglecting this day um, for a little while now, and that's on me. I shouldn't have neglected it like I did. Um, I've realized that when I am doing something, I felt way more excited about things now than I have been, because when you make a goal that seems so unrealistic, if you make a goal that seems big, make a big goal, then you're more excited about it and you're more likely to hit it. And because if you make a realistic goal, then the more likely you're not going to hit it because it's not as exciting to you. All right. Uh, Say you go on and you're like, I want to make $1,000,000 a month, but realistically, let's keep it at like 6,000 a month. That's not going to excite you. Why? Because it's not the $1,000,000 a month that you want. If you had just made the goal $1,000,000 and you would have just stayed with the $1,000,000, because that's what excites you. That's what gets you up out of bed in the morning. That's what makes you want to reach it. $6,000 isn't gonna make you want to get up and go. No. And I realized that I guess my goal just hasn't been very clear or big enough, to say the least. I made a goal for this week, and I'm excited about it. I wanna get there. I wanna make it. I've been telling people, all sorts of crazy stuff, right? Because it's not a question of if it's gonna happen, it's when it's gonna happen. And when is now. When is it? It's going to be now, because I'm making it now, because I'm putting in the effort now. I realized today, sitting in a meeting about Elevate and stuff, that I've just been getting in at the wrong time when it comes to my trades. I've been doing it wrong. I know that when I was making good money on the trades, I was getting in at a certain time because I was looking at the chart differently than I was doing just here recently. So I took the time and I went on to the trades. I did new order, and what I did when I hit new order was I watched the line go down farther so I could buy. Now, that doesn't make any sense, I know. When the line is going down, you typically are like, well, why would you want to buy if it's going down? Well, if you look at it and you look at the charts and you look at the graph, and if you know how to read it, then you will see a pattern, and that pattern will tell you whether or not it's going to go back up or not. So I really just have been not really paying attention as of recently, I guess. And so when I was looking at it, I'm like, my goal, I need to hit it soon. But here I am, and I'm messing up on just these rookie mistakes, and I don't even know what it is I'm doing. That I'm sitting here and I'm thinking while I'm in this meeting, I'm like, oh, I know exactly what I haven't been doing. And it seems so obvious, because I'm sitting here and I'm listening to them talk, and they're talking about how, you need to get in at certain times when you see the bars or the candles, I mean, it's not a guarantee it's going to stay up. It's not a guarantee it's going to keep going down. It's not a guarantee that it's going to go down from an uptrend. It's not a guarantee that it's going to go up on a downtrend. So, that's just how it goes. But I realized I was doing something that just seemed so stupid, to say the least. To say the least, it was a very stupid mistake that shouldn't have happened, and yet it happened. And I've been, I find it upsetting because I was telling somebody the same thing about when they should get into the market, and I just didn't realize that I hadn't been doing it. So, I mean, because what I told them was right. I just didn't realize that I myself had stopped doing that until I was sitting in this meeting and they were talking, and I was like, oh, this is why I haven't seen the results that I want, because I am doing the opposite of the thing that I'm supposed to be doing, that I was doing originally. And then there's talking with people. Like, I've been talking to people. There's a card that I need to find. So this lady, she gave me her card, and I have not been able to find it since the day she gave it to me. I have not been able to find it, and I feel so bad. And if you're watching this video, I deeply apologize that I have not gotten in contact with you. I swear I lost your card, but I'm going to be looking for it so I know where it is. And I hate to say that, my Japan video is taking so long. It's because I haven't found that clip. 2, it's because that clip gets buried on my phone, and that's the clip I need onto my computer. It gets buried on my phone because I have WhatsApp, and WhatsApp every day there's like 5 new pictures, or 10 or 20. It just depends. There's some ungodly amount of photos that always gets posted onto WhatsApp for no particular reason. Sometimes it feels like. And then it just buries the clip that I need for the Japan video. And I can't blame that on WhatsApp or the people uploading stuff on WhatsApp. That's on me. I need to clear out those photos and look for that clip so I can upload it to the computer. Because I do need to reset my computer and do all of this other stuff, because do a hard reset because Zoom still isn't making a sound. I tried today. I was like, maybe I just need to wear my Raycons. Not sponsored, by the way. Maybe I just need to wear my Raycons and see if I can get sound out of those, because clearly Zoom audio isn't working on my laptop, and nothing came out of my earbuds. So it's a sound issue on Zoom, and we just haven't been able to figure it out. They changed some settings when I went in to the Geek Squad the other day, and they changed some settings, and they're like, well, there's not really anything wrong. Even the settings you had before we fixed it, fixed some of the settings, shouldn't have been an issue with your audio. But I guess, the whole time that they were trying to do it, even after they switched those settings around, it just wasn't working. The sound wasn't working, so I have to do a hard reset on my laptop, because if I don't, then how am I going to do my meetings or whatever on my laptop? Because I can't be doing 2-hour-long meetings on my phone all the time. That's a lot of having to plug my phone back in. Yes, I have a great phone, but at the same time, it's a really, really, really crappy phone. I love my phone, don't get me wrong. You know, it has great photos. It can take great photos. And videos and all this other stuff. I'm still learning new things about my phone that I didn't even realize it was on my phone, even though I'm pretty sure they explained it to me when I got it. I don't know. They probably did, and I just was like, that's a lot of information that I just did not process at that time. It's a great phone, don't get me wrong, for photos and videos and all of this other stuff, but it can't handle a 2-hour long meeting. It can't do that. I mean, it will, but it will drain some battery. My battery life is not the greatest on my phone. And it doesn't help when the Wi-Fi is turned off, because then the battery drains even faster. And I know that, that's not just my phone. A lot of phones do that. When the Wi-Fi is turned off, somehow the battery just magically drains faster. I don't know. It's probably not even magic. It's just, maybe it's because they're using the phone's internal data compared to an outside source like Wi-Fi. I don't know. But yeah, because Zoom doesn't seem to want to work on the phone. Like, the audio doesn't seem to want to work all that well on my phone, or the video on my phone when it's connected to Wi-Fi, because I'm usually down here and it buffers and it stops and all this other stuff. So I turn off my Wi-Fi so I can listen to the meetings on my phone on my data, because when it's on my data, it doesn't do that. So I need to figure something out. There's a lot of stuff, and I don't know what happened. I was in a meeting one day on my laptop on a Zoom call, and then all of a sudden, the sound just stopped working. I don't know why. It just did. And I've tried everything I could think of humanly possible, and I just haven't been able to figure it out. The Geek Squad couldn't figure it out. The only thing they suggested was a hard reset and see if that worked. Which means I have to redo everything on my computer, like all my information and everything else. And then re-download Zoom and everything else I've downloaded on here. And see if that works. And if that doesn't work, then it's a Zoom issue, and then we have to go and call Zoom and figure out what's going on, because I don't know. But it's been almost 2 weeks now, and I feel like it's something that I should have dealt with a long time ago. Like, maybe when it was happening. When it first started happening, I should say. There's a lot of things, like getting that fixed on Elevate. My mistake. I should have fixed that a long time ago. And it took me, I don't know, this long to figure out that I was doing something wrong. What I was doing wrong. And I'm not going to be able to always predict what's going to happen with the market. But, I mean, it's better to do it the way that I'm supposed to than to just kind of get into the market because my emotions are tied into it. Because you're not supposed to have your emotions tied into what you're doing with the market, because that loses you money. And I promise you, this morning I woke up with a loss. Now, I did have a little bit of a profit with the yen, and I went ahead and I got out immediately, so I didn't have to face another loss. But that, I mean, that shouldn't have been an issue. I shouldn't have had to do that. I shouldn't have felt the need to do that. And the reason I felt the need to do that is because my emotions had been tied into this since Sunday when it opened back up. Now, that goes in with the goal. I'm emotionally involved with my goal, but my emotions that are tied into my goal shouldn't be tied into the market. Because when it's tied into the market, you don't want to lose any. You don't want to lose to begin with, okay? You don't want to lose money to begin with, but you take it a lot harder when your emotions are involved than you do when you're just focusing on the mathematical part. And we're gonna hope that this uploads correctly, if this gets recorded correctly, because I've been having issues with it. I mean, I gotta get my stuff together. I really do. I'm doing well. My business is doing better. I'm making money on the platform, all of this other stuff. But right now, everything outside of me, I guess, is hectic. I need to do laundry. I need to clean up my living space. I mean, I had a bowl of cleaning supplies on the chair yesterday, if you saw that in the previous video. But yeah, it's just everywhere. Everything is just crazy on the outside world of mine. You guys only see me on the camera, whether I'm going for a walk or sitting down at my desk or on my bed or here. And, I know it's been a while since I've gone on a walk with you guys. But, I mean, I have no excuses for it. I really don't. I don't have an excuse for why I'm sitting here and why I sit at my desk or my bed and why I haven't been on a walk in the past few months. I don't have an excuse for that. I don't have an excuse for why I have been doing what I've been doing. I don't have any excuses for any of that. And it's not like I have anyone but myself to blame. It's not like I have anyone to blame because who am I going to blame except for myself? I'm not competing against anyone else. The only person I'm competing with is myself. And that's kind of terrible because I realize that I could be a very lousy opponent. I really can be. Girl, get yourself together. I don't know. What are you doing? You're sitting here, you're doing more than you were. That's for sure. You've gotten more customers in than you ever did, but the fact of the matter is you're sitting, you're not getting as many customers as you can be. You're not getting as many business partners as you can be. You're not out there. You don't have your own car. I mean, I want a very specific car, but you don't have your own car, so it's not like you can go out and drive around and talk to people. I mean, the only people you're talking to are probably your neighbors, and you don't even do that. I mean, the one neighbor you were talking to moved away, and now the only person with their number is your husband, and you already know that he's not going to be messaging them anytime soon unless you say something. And the neighbors next door, they hardly come out. I mean, shoot. They don't even come out when your dog runs over to their yard and pees on their porch. My dog is weird. Okay, why does he need to go all the way over there to pee on their porch? I don't know. But, I mean, this is why he gets put on a leash in the yard. So he doesn't run over there and do that. I'm sick and tired of chasing him sometimes because he doesn't do that all the time, but I mean, sometimes he gets cocky and he does it anyway. And the other neighbor you don't even see unless he's like pulling in at the same time as you're getting out of the car or getting into the car. You know, you don't hardly see him at all. I mean, if he's going to the front yard, you're probably indoors, and, you know, no wonder you're whiter than sour cream, okay? I mean, yeah, and then there's neighbors you haven't ever even talked to. There's one lady that you haven't talked to in like 2 years, okay? She still lives in that house. Okay, I think they just got rid of that car because when they first had the car, it had a bumper, and for the last couple of years, it hasn't had a bumper. I think they finally either got rid of it or took it somewhere to get it fixed. I don't know. See, you don't know because you haven't talked to them. You haven't gone out of the house to see what's going on. The last time you talked to her, she was talking about having a block party, and that was, I think, 2021, maybe, if that. It might have been like into 2020 or something. I don't know, or the middle of it when when COVID was supposed to be over with because everyone was making promises that it only would take a few months and then it just didn't, and then it was a whole thing. I mean, yeah. Yeah, what's your excuse for that? I mean, there is no excuse. I have no excuse for that. I know I'm switching to, like, third person and everything else. Because as I'm talking, I'm realizing that I need to talk to myself, like a parent talks to their child. Sometimes, because sometimes your kids do stupid stuff and you're like, why would you do that? What was your reasoning behind doing that? Like, why did you draw on the wall with mustard? That makes no sense. What was your thought process? I don't know. I never drew on the wall with mustard. I don't think I've known anyone who's done that. I'm sure someone out there has done it. I know. I used to draw on the wall with markers and pencils and stuff, but yeah. No, there's no excuse for the things that I've done. There's no excuse for the things that I haven't done. I just haven't done it, and there's no excuse of why, and there's no excuse of why not. There's just, you do or you don't, and there is no in between. And I have no excuses for it. There is no excuse that makes it okay. And I can't even say I would have an excuse if somebody passed away, because there are so many successful people who they've had loss in their life and it's hurt them very, very deeply, but they had to just keep progressing, knowing that that person wouldn't be a part of their future anymore. And that is the saddest and toughest thing that anyone could go through. But you have to be strong and push through it anyway. So I can't even say I would have an excuse then. Because I wouldn't have an excuse then. Because I guarantee you, if I brought it up to a mentor, they would tell me the same thing. Like, if you want to be successful, you're going to have to go through things that you're not wanting to go through. You're going to have to miss things that you don't want to miss in order to be successful. Now, I'm not saying they missed the funeral, but I am saying that they were doing something when they found out that their loved one passed away. We went to Indiana, and the lady that was staying with us in the Airbnb, she got there and she got the call that I think it was her mother or her father passed away that night that she got there. And it broke our hearts. I was right there when she got the call. I was the one there consoling her and telling her that she needed to focus on herself, and then when she gets back, then she should go and talk to the family. I was the one who, I didn't even know her. I had no idea who she was. I just knew she was a business partner, and I knew that she was there to grow as well. We were there for the same event. That's all I knew about her was we were going to share an Airbnb together. I didn't know her from Adam. I didn't know her at all. I talked to her on WhatsApp, and that was the beginning of our conversations, and I had no clue who this was. The only conversation we had on WhatsApp was I need someone to room with. That's all I knew about her. And that's all I knew about Xander. That's all I knew about them. All I knew was that they needed roommates. And that was like, you know what? We can find someone, we can find somewhere to stay together, you know? Yeah. But the thing is, she stayed. She thought long and hard about whether or not she was going to stay or she was going to drive home because the grief was just too much. But she stayed. And I'm very proud of her. She's no longer with the business. She chose to step out. And I wish her all the happiness and success. And Angela, if you're watching, I am praying for you. And I hope that you get everything that it is that you're wanting. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end it here. Because one, I'm absolutely starving. I'm pretty hungry, so I'm not starving. I'm just hungry, but and two, there's a lot of things that I could talk about, but I can't talk about them without getting emotional, because I already started to get emotional when I was talking about the situation in Indiana. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop it here. Remember to invest in yourselves, because you are the very best person you can ever invest in. Invest in stocks, real estate, gold, silver, all that fun stuff. I love you guys. Mwah. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.